With my wildcards coming in game week 8, I can have a bit of fun with my transfer this week for game week 7 and pick a potential 1 week punt differential asset. In today's transfer plans video, we're taking a look at my personal FPL team, the possible transfers I can make, as well as how I plan to line up for game week 7. So, let's get into this. Welcome to the transfer plans series. Of course, we're taking a look at my team this week and how I plan to improve things for game week 7. I have to say though, a massive thank you for all of your incredible birthday messages from the weekend. It was great reading them all. I just want to say a massive thank you. I really do appreciate every single one of you. Of course, we're growing as a community. We're almost at 1,000 subs. The support on the channel at the weekend was incredible. If you aren't subscribed to the channel just yet, do consider it. I make FPL videos to help you guys at home, so just clicking that little red sub button does support me a massive amount. We always start these videos with reviewing how we did in the previous game week. It lets us kind of pick out some problems on the side, and then we address them going into the video, into the transfer plans section. So let's take a look at how we did. 49 points all out. We pretty much stayed the same as a rank. About a 10k drop overall, so an incredibly small red arrow. Not the end of the world, but at least we now have Haaland in the side after transferring out Mohamed Salah and Mateta to get NGI and Haaland in. But let's focus on some of the individuals here. We'll look at the Spurs triple up I have, particularly with Spurs. I was incredibly disappointed in the performance, actually. I felt as though they were really sloppy in the game. Of course, Kudus, an offside goal disallowed. He was miles offside for that, but there were other opportunities within the fixture for him to get something, and he just did not do so. Pedro Porro starting on the bench, but at least him coming off the bench stopped the -2 points from Esteve coming on for his game against City, where he scored 2 own goals. Like, what was going on there? But yeah, Spurs were incredibly disappointing. The Liverpool double up we'll speak about a bit as well. Virgil van Dijk, Florian Wirtz. It was always going to be a difficult game against Palace. Palace is a hard game to get something from. We've spoke about Florian Wirtz a million times on the channel, and we know the situation I have with him personally, and he's going to leave for game week 7. That's always been the plan for the past few weeks. But yeah, hard game for them. We expected Florian Wirtz to start, and he did. So that was good, at least, him starting within that fixture, with Ekatike's, obviously, red card suspension from the cup fixture. You had the last player in the defence there, and Anderson coming away with at least defensive contribution points, but a yellow card at the same time. So a 3-pointer for him. Was the best scoring player apart from Erling Haaland, which is crazy to say. And Jai disappointed against West Ham. I felt as though Juve of West Ham was incredible and really nullified Njai all game, and that perhaps does change things with how I perceive West Ham going forward in FPL. We spoke about Kudus and Wirtz. Reinders, another one which was quite disappointing. I suppose the entire team was disappointing apart from Haaland, but yes, particularly unfortunate being a Bruno Fernandes owner. Again, another penalty, amazing. He misses it. And then you're like, right, okay. There's a conversation to be had about Bruno in the sense that if he keeps missing penalties, is he even going to keep penalties? Cunha's good at penalties, and Buemo's brilliant at penalties. I don't know. I mean, he's got so much responsibility at Manchester United. I feel as though that in itself, you know, captain, he's going to keep pens, isn't he? But I don't know. He needs to be putting these away, man. He needs to be putting these away. Not only for me and my FPL team, but for Manchester United. They've looked shocking recently. But yeah, I still really like Bruno as an asset. Manchester United have got the data to back them, but it just never seems to come off. So yeah, we'll have to assess whether I even have him as a possibility on a wild card in game week 8. Potentially some free money to improve the forward line and stuff. But yeah, disappointing again. Gyökeres, we didn't expect much from this fixture, and he didn't really give us much. But the penalty shout was a really interesting one. I personally have looked at it a million times. And each time I look at it, I change my mind. It was a penalty. When I first seen it, I was like, yes, Nick Pope's got the ball, but like, Saka's just behind Gyökeres. Maybe Saka could have ran to the ball, cut it back maybe. I don't know. I think it's not really a pen, but hard to tell. I can't make my mind up personally, but the important discussion there is who takes penalties for Arsenal then, because we kind of just didn't really realise who takes penalties because it was disallowed. But it seemed like Saka picked up the ball, he points to Gyökeres on the floor and says something like, "That's you," or "It's you," to him. Really hard to tell in the moment. But if I had to guess, I would say Gyökeres takes pens for Arsenal. It was the assumption before the match, and the way Saka kind of acted when he picked up the ball and pointed to him, I'm like, well, that kind of signifies to me that Gyökeres is on pens. But again, we still don't fully know who's on pens for Arsenal. We have, of course, the star of the show, and his back is incredibly painful right now for carrying my FPL score this week. Erling Haaland, welcome to the side. An assist and 2 goals. It seemed like it was going to be an assist just for ages until the very last minutes of the fixture, but he came through with it, and of course helped my team out a massive amount this game week. But yeah, just happy to have him back in the squad. Well, I say back in the squad, I didn't own him at the start of the season, so yeah, happy to have him in the squad now. And of course I think he's an incredible FPL asset, much better than Salah at the moment. But yeah, that's how we performed in game week 6. A few issues there we've identified, and of course the potential transfer of Florian Wirtz this week with my 1 free transfer. So let's see how the team looks for game week 7. So as we discussed, we have 1 free transfer for the game week with 1.6 million in the bank, and the likely transfer out would be Florian Wirtz. Just to quickly go over how the team looks though, I think it looks pretty decent for the game week. Of course, we've got the triple up on Spurs against Leeds away from home. I think it's a decent opportunity for them to kind of, you know, recoup some of the embarrassment from that Wolves fixture. I feel as though they were incredibly sloppy in that game. I wasn't impressed with them at all. So maybe a bounce back for this fixture. We'll have to see how they get on, but I think going to Ellen Road is always difficult. You've got Chelsea away for Virgil van Dijk. Chelsea just haven't looked quite on it lately, so something to keep an eye on there. Perhaps Liverpool assets do better in this fixture than they did against Palace. We don't quite know. But yeah, I think defensive contributions are a higher likelihood in this fixture for Virgil and Liverpool assets because of the fact Chelsea do attack more. Anderson, similar situation to Virgil van Dijk. You've got a really attacking Bournemouth side who should go ahead and score some goals against this Fulham team. So yeah, we're really hoping on defensive contributions for Anderson, but he's an absolute tank for it, so we really can't complain. And Jai, Crystal Palace at home. Of course, the easier fixture we thought was West Ham at home, and he didn't come away with anything there, so perhaps not expecting too much within this game. We spoke about Kudus. Florian Wirtz is going to be leaving. We'll show that transfer in literally 2 seconds as I finish talking about everyone else. Reinders and Haaland against Brentford away. Haaland captain. Bruno Fernandes against Sunderland at home feels not great, especially, obviously, I support Sunderland and we're doing incredible in the Premier League at the moment. So, yeah, I think we'll give United a really difficult game when we just don't know what type of Bruno Fernandes or Manchester United even turn up in the game. Let's just hope he doesn't miss another penalty. And you've got Gyökeres against West Ham at home, which I think is going to be a harder fixture now under Nuno. But with the 1 free transfer and with the exact money, we can make a planned transfer to go from Florian Wirtz to Bukayo Saka this game week. And that would be the 1 free transfer. No money left in the bank. And yeah, Saka's a bit of a differential, guys. He's under 6% ownership right now, and I think that will just slowly creep up as we go through the game week. The only problem with this transfer is, well, there's 2 main problems. I'll speak about the first one in terms of his matchup. When you go against West Ham now, as a right winger, you're going against Diouf, and he did an incredible job at nullifying Iliman Ndiaye last night in Monday night's fixture. So looking at that matchup and going, well, Bukayo Saka's now against Diouf, the transfer doesn't feel that strong. And Bukayo Saka hasn't been 100% for months now. He's only just coming back, and I think this is a fixture where you'll seem to get more than sort of 80 minutes and really kick on to playing full fixtures for Arsenal. So it's a perhaps good opportunity to get him in, but obviously the matchup isn't too great. Another issue is this here. We've got to kind of make an early transfer with these two players. We can look at Bukayo Saka. He's expected to rise in price in 2 days' time. Now, similar with Florian Wirtz, he's expected to decrease in price in 2 days' time. So I'm going to have to make that particular transfer to get Bukayo Saka in early. And that doesn't feel quite nice to do in FPL. But it could be something I am encouraged to do to really manage to get Bukayo Saka in. Because if I wait for at least one price drop or one price rise between them, I won't be able to get them in. So yeah, that's kind of how I plan to use the transfer this week. There are some downsides, but having Saka as a differential player, you don't get that much in FPL. And Arsenal just are a great team. There was some form of promise from the Newcastle fixture I've seen with Bukayo Saka. I just think Newcastle do defend incredibly well. And I think West Ham will do okay within this fixture, but Arsenal just are miles better than West Ham. We'll kind of have to see how Nuno deals with the Arsenal boys. But yeah, that is the proposed transfer this week to use my 1-free transfer going in to a wild card in game week 8. Tomorrow's video is my transfer tips video, so make sure you keep your eyes out for that. And of course, a massive thank you for all of your support recently on the channel and today's video. If you did enjoy today's video, go ahead and drop a like. And if you aren't yet subscribed to the FPL Mogs YouTube channel, go ahead and do so for future FPL content and deadline streams. But that is everything for today's video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.